Welcome to Bold Talk. I'm Angela Belcamino. I've really been looking forward to chatting with today's guest. Tiffany Gomas is in the house. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, you just had a birthday,
I
right?
did. Yeah.
How was it?
It was great. We went to Puerto Rico with like 6 of my best friends. I was the 7th wheel, per usual. But it was a blast. Yeah. Gambled a lot, stayed up too late. And yeah.
That sounds like an epic birthday. How'd
Yeah.
you do gambling? Did you win at all?
I ended up breaking even, but for me, that's a win. That's
I'll
a win.
take it as a win.
Yeah.
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 Do
And
you
I didn't go out. So, I saved a lot of money on, alcohol.
Nice.
That's a win for me.
Yeah. I love it. Perspective is everything.
Right.
Do you have like do you do
It's girl math.
slots?
Yeah.
Girl math. I love girl math.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular game that you play or do you use slots?
I love slots, but I really like blackjack. So
Nice.
yeah, and
I
craps. But craps I always lose. Blackjack, there's like a little bit more, you know, strategy to it, and there's rules. So for me, blackjack I do a lot better on.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular goals or reflections as you go into this next year of life ahead?
No, and honestly, I feel like everyone, your New Year's resolutions and all that, I really don't like participate in that. I just try to live like the most like adventurous, like free spirited life, I guess I can. Obviously, while still like keeping shit in check at home. I have 2 dogs and I have a company and I do real estate investment. So keeping all that in line. And then, other than that, I truly just kind of live life.
I mean, that's the best. We need more of that. That's a good message to spread is kind of just living in the moment and the present and each day and, just really trying to maximize it. So I think that that's a great.
I have a very fun, I think I have a very fun life. I get a lot of like hate, like, why haven't you settled down? Why haven't you gotten married? Why haven't you done all these things? And it's like, well, that hasn't been my path. It's not that I'm opposed to it. It just hasn't been my path so far. And I've never been one of those that's like, I have to get married so I can have babies. I just feel like God kind of like plans your life how it's supposed to be. And if that's supposed to be, then it'll happen. And if it's not supposed to be, then I'm not going to sacrifice my life to be with someone just for that reason.
Preach. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
don't get me started.
Yeah.
I get a lot of that as well, right? Like I've
Always
done
the
a lot of
men. It's never even the women. It's always men.
well, I get some women too, but yeah, there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of, like I did a whole bunch of like 42 child free, living my
I saw
life.
that. Yeah.
And I don't know why people get so angry about like you just living your life the way that, you want to do it, being authentically
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess I don't know another way to live it. I really don't. Like, obviously, after everything happened, like, everything was in the spotlight. So it's like, oh, but this is how I've always like lived life. And, people are like, oh, she did this. So she gets all this money. I'm like, no, I've always traveled. I have always lived this honestly really cool life. I've had some experiences from that I would not have had, like this fighter jet thing that we'll probably talk about. But at the end of the day, like that, people are getting like a very small snippet into my life. And I'm not huge on social media, quite honestly. So like I show very, very tiny parts of my life.
mhm.
And most of that gets judged. So it just
Yeah.
gets exhausting.
It's crazy how people create their own narratives based on the very little information that they have about you or think that they know about you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you post like a picture with a guy and it's like all of a sudden you're banging and all sorts. I'm like, wait, what? Like, why is that like where everybody's mind like immediately goes? Even when I post with my gay friends, they're like, you need a man. Like, why are you always hanging out with these? I'm like, they're my gay best friends. They're the greatest. Like, I don't understand why. Yeah. I just don't understand why everybody has an opinion about everything or everybody else's life. Like, mine doesn't
Yeah.
involve you. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't affect you. So
Yeah.
I guess I just don't understand. I've never gotten that mentality.
Well, I'm glad that you haven't let that stop you. You know, that's easier said than done. And I know that part of that is taking breaks from social media and things like that can be good for our
Yeah.
mental health.
And I'm not one of those it's like a doomless scroller. Like I very much limit myself to on social media. Probably more so after I went viral because it was a very negative space to be in and still can be. X is really hard because it is very negative all the time. And it's just the same stuff. And it's just, it seems like a lot of very unhappy people. Because I'm a fairly positive person and I don't really like to post like negativity. I am one that's a big smartass. That's different, I think. But most of the time, like anything posting is like jokes or, I'm not on there to like, you know, I get a lot of hate like, oh, you're not, posting like what's important. I'm like, yeah, I'm just having fun. Like I wasn't trying to be an influencer on this thing. I just post what I want when I want, or go MIA for a month.
Mhm.
For me, it's not that big of a deal.
Also, I don't understand these rules and these like labels. And the thing is too, you can't please everyone. Like you never will. So
Try to
one
please
and
anybody because of that reason.
right. And why would you want to? Like your life isn't about making other people happy or doing what they want you to do with your life.
No, and I'm all about like spreading kindness. Like I said, I can be a smartass from time to time, but I am not a jerk. Maybe was on that flight a little bit, but other than that, that's.
Well, since you brought it up,
Yeah.
and again, I don't want to make you relive anything that you don't want to relive, but you went viral 2 years ago in 2023 for a situation on a plane. Can you tell a little bit, whatever you feel comfortable? Because I know you've been telling the story now.
Yeah, I feel
What
like
happened that day?
no one believes anything I say. So it gets like, you really do get sick of talking about it because it's like,
Mhm.
it happened. It is what it is. I've truly moved on from it. Of course, I rag on myself about it all the time because it is ridiculous and quite humiliating, to be honest. But yeah, I got in an altercation with someone. I had a back injury. I was on Vicodin and had some white wine. I would have probably handled that situation so much different. I was scared, obviously, and I did demand to get off the plane. And obviously, it spiraled from there. But that's truly what happened. I get it. I looked a lot different. First of all, I was probably a good 8 pounds heavier, and I'm only 5'2", so that's a lot on me. I had a bad back injury. I was on a high dosage of steroids. Like, I was puffy. I had no makeup on. My hair was slicked back. Like, I don't understand why that is. You know how women, there's a lot of catfishes out there. I'm not saying I was a catfish, but I mean, well, maybe a little because, but that's what I look like when I have no makeup on, my hair slicked back, and I'm a good 8 pounds heavier. Like, but yeah, I mean, other than that, like that's all that happened. It was not that serious. Obviously, after the fact, it completely changed my life. I had a very good life prior to that, a very private life,
Hmm.
which I really enjoy. And I felt like in that moment, for some reason, I felt like just because I was getting so much speculation on things and like people coming after me, all the things, I felt like it's crazy because no one's really entitled, I guess, to know what happened, especially if you weren't involved in it. Because it got so much exposure, I felt like I had to like say something. And then after I said something, I feel like it still wasn't enough. I still had people being like, well, her apology wasn't okay. So it's like, well, I mean, you can't win, I don't think. So I did what I felt was best. Obviously, I felt bad for everyone that was on that plane. But other than that, anyone outside of that, I just wasn't really anybody's business. I didn't want to go viral. I did not want to be filmed. But obviously, that's the way the world is. Like everyone has a camera these days. And not putting that on anyone, it was my fault. And, I'm the one that caused that. So I will deal with the consequences from it, but I also only owe people on that plane an explanation and an apology.
Yeah, and it feels like you have taken accountability and responsibility and told the story. So I can imagine how frustrating that is to still deal with all the negativity, and to be consistently referred to as crazy plane lady when this was one day, one moment of your life. It does not define you.
No, and I think everyone probably has a crazy moment that they wouldn't like filmed. I mean, I'm sure I've had other ones too that I wouldn't want filmed. But yeah, I just think at the end of the day, I didn't hurt anyone, nor would I ever or want to. I just caused a very massive inconvenience and freak out. And it was awful. Not, don't get me wrong, it was awful. But yeah, I just was ready to move on. And it's like every so often, it's like I never could move on. So now I laugh at it and it is what it is. And for the longest time, I was like afraid to go in public. I was very insecure in public. I just, didn't like answering questions. I didn't like being seen, quite honestly. So even though I put like a good face on, like it wasn't fun. It took a good 6 to 7 months to feel comfortable, like truly going out in public again. And then it took like over a year for me to be like, you know what? I really don't give a fuck. So that was kind of a transition. I went through like bouts of depression. People were like, why did she lose all this weight? She's on Ozempic, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, y'all, I was fucking depressed. I was chilling in my bedroom. Like I was depressed for a while and would come, like I said, it would go in phases and I would still have to live life and still have obligations. So it was just trying to manage all of it. So, but now we're back. We're back and we're good. We're actually better than before because I truly don't care anymore.
Well, that's a journey, as you like reflect back on it. I mean, it's been about, right. It's been 2 years at this point. To have all those lows, I can't imagine, feeling like you can't go out. You're facing just all this negativity and judgment. Of course, that's going to take a toll on
Mm-hmm.
your mental health. And you fought through. You
Yeah.
got through that time somehow, some way. What was helpful to you during that time to help you cope with
Oh
it?
God, my family and my friends are like literally the best humans in the entire world. And I do think limiting social media really helped.
Mhm.
A lot of people were like, just dive into it, like lean into it, be a creator, be a influencer. And I think people like think sometimes I'm an influencer, but I'm like, what am I influencing? I just post what I want, mainly post my travels. Like I haven't posted actually hardly any of my travels this summer because I just don't like social media is not really my life. It's fun, but like I can't imagine like creating content every day. That seems really exhausting. And for me, it's not fun. Like that's not a fun way for me to live, I guess. So I just kind of went back to my like everyday life or tried to and try to like really stay consistent and, get back into a routine because it was really hard. It was really easy to like stay in bed all day. So I think routine therapy, and my family and friends.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's great advice. And I mean, right. Why, you only have one life and we don't know how long it is. And so you want to spend your days and your time doing things that you're passionate about. It does feel like you've been successful from what I can tell with your content, in reframing that narrative. You do come across, like, I feel like you really use humor in a
Yeah,
therapeutic kind of way. And I
that
love
kind of got
that.
me through everything too, is being able to laugh and joke about it. I think if I wasn't able to do that or laugh at myself, like I would have let a lot more get to me because I'm like, okay, well, if I make fun of myself first, like there's nothing you're going to say that I haven't already said. Like, and I think too, a lot of people resonate with that because like, how else do you get through like hard times? Yeah. I mean, there's really nothing anyone can say that I haven't thought or said myself.
So in that sense, I really do think you're an influencer, because I feel like you're modeling a really positive message for other people, because I think so many of us deal with trolling, bullying, negativity, and I know you've talked about having to develop a thick skin. That's all easier said than done and takes effort and practice.
Yeah, and I don't think without going through something like that, you really can develop that thick of skin. And I don't think, and this isn't a knock on anybody, but I don't know that a lot of people can handle that because it's not easy. It's I mean, it's by far the hardest thing I've ever done is navigating that situation, but it is doable. And especially the people that don't have a good support system. Like, I have such an amazing support system. I can't imagine someone that doesn't have that going through something so negative.
Right. Because it feels lonely. It feels lonely going, and if you don't have a support, if you don't have people around you to help you through that, it's tough to go through on your own.
Yeah, even when you have a support system, it can feel lonely.
Yeah.
So that and my dogs, like, they helped a lot.
Yeah, pets are another. Pets are therapy, therapeutic, absolutely. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have a 15-year-old golden doodle. They're both laying right here, and a 7-year-old Aussie doodle. Or actually, she just turned 8-year-old Aussie doodle. She's a little rescue. She's a nightmare most of the time, but she's real cute.
So sweet. So they were instrumental to you during that time as well.
Yeah, because they can kind of tell when things are off, especially my Aussie. She's very, very, like, in tune with stuff like that. So she, you could tell you needed extra love. So they definitely gave it. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How, I mean, I know you're still dealing with it. Like, how, long were things this bad? Like, did it ever die down? All that you were
Yeah.
dealing
Oh, yeah. I feel like my life's pretty much back to normal. Like,
with? Okay.
I'll still get like the occasional. I do think a lot of people are like kind of recognize me, but then they don't say anything, which I'm thankful for.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. But sometimes you'll get someone that like wants to take a picture and then they just laugh with you. So it's like, things for the most part are truly like back to normal. I live my life exactly how I did before. You know, I don't let anything hinder me at this point. It's truly just the way it was, thankfully.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Like, I'm glad that you're in a good place. Are there positives for you at this point, 2 years later, that have come out of all of this?
I think my mental health has actually gotten better over after all this because I've truly had to do a lot of work through it. And I think letting go and not caring what anyone thinks, except for obviously those that like truly are really close to me and that my life makes an impact on. I mean, obviously I care what my family and stuff think, but I think, yeah, not giving a shit like really is so refreshing. And you have to really like know who you are, I think, to get to that point. And you have to be really happy with yourself. So like doing a lot of therapy to like really know what type of person I am, like, know what kind of heart I have and what my intentions are. And all of those are very pure. And like, I'm a very loving person and a very optimistic person. So I think just really like honing in on that and not listening to outside noise. Sometimes it's really hard not to clap back at some people, but it's like, you know what, that's what they want. So I've tried to really like refrain from doing that. And if someone sends me mean, I don't have a problem blocking anybody. You send me a mean message and you're trying to like disrupt my peace, no problem.
Yeah, you have to protect yourself and look out for yourself. And I think boundaries are really important when it comes to that. But no, I love that you're promoting therapy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'd
It
gone to therapy
is,
before, but I've probably gone to a little bit more of it after.
I was going to say, is mental health something, I don't know, that you've struggled with in the past prior to this incident
I
in
would
in
say
earlier in your life?
not like mental health, but I did like probably deal with like a little bit of depression and not like extreme bouts of depression where like it's debilitating.
Mhm.
But where I would like go like be like a recluse for a while and then come out, but not like it was, the year after everything happened. That was a little bit different. But yeah, just anxiety maybe and depression a little, but not anything like super extreme. But the bullying online was really difficult. And that's when I kind of wanted to get involved with, you know, that to some extent. So right after everything happened, I think I did those Barstool sweatshirts and all that. And of course, I donated all that to CyberSmile. I think everyone was like, "Oh, she's just trying to make a buck." I was like, "No, I'm actually trying to do something good with this and support this organization that actually reached out to me when everything happened." And so for me, that was like such a of them to like personally reach out was so big, and just to give back in any way. I could think if I could do anything with the platform I have, it would to be to do something, maybe even with kids or I don't know, even adults, I guess, that like have been bullied or are bullied or have issues with, mental health in any way. That would that's the only way I would probably use the platform that I have to do something, with it. I don't care about brand deals. I don't care about any of that crap. Like, I mean, it's cool, but like, that's not what I would use my platform for.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually something that I was gonna ask you about because it seems like you're an advocate already trying to use your platform to raise awareness related to mental health, online bullying, and that kind of a thing.
Yeah, I did, especially like right after. I think I got really overwhelmed, I think, with the social media aspect side of it. So I kind of like backed off and just started living my life again. And I feel like now, and too, I wasn't, I needed to get to the right headspace too. And I feel like I didn't necessarily lean into it maybe the way I should have. But now I feel like I'm at a point where I could truly use what I have and where I'm at now, like for good. So I don't really know what that looks like, but I could see myself doing something with that in some capacity.
Absolutely, and I feel like the best is when you've been through something like that, and you use your own experience and people
Mhm.
really connect and relate to that and wanna hear what you have to say because you've really been through it, you've lived it. So,
Yeah.
talking about your experience and how you were able to do it, I think gives that hope to other people. And also, the more that we can talk about these experiences, it's again, people don't feel as alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think you're the only one going through something like that, when in
Oh, absolutely.
reality, right, the more that you talk about it, you realize, oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think even with like my like nephews, like I'm a very safe space for like a lot of people to like unleash their like issues or problems on because it's like, okay, well, you kind of get it, you know? And I want to be that for people because yeah, I mean, I didn't have anyone to talk to that had ever been through anything like I had been through. So it's kind of like navigating this on your own, figuring it out, like figuring out what was the best route. And I think I just always trusted my intuition. I didn't listen to what other people thought I should do. A lot of people thought I should, really lean into social and start doing that. And like, I don't care about having a million followers. Like I don't, or, like that was never my goal in anything. So I think I just truly stayed like true to myself through all of it. And that's probably the only thing that really got me through it.
That's really admirable as well. Because I feel, whatever fame or all, people can lose sight of priorities and who they are. And it sounds like you didn't.
Fame is different than infamy. So we're more on the latter. So it's funny when people are like, oh, you did it to get famous. I'm like, it is not being fun, known as a crazy bitch. I am
Yeah.
sorry. That is not fun. um, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't call it fame. That's not how I would describe it.
Yeah, whether it's fame can be, I guess, positive or negative. So I don't by any means, I'm not glorifying, the type
Yeah.
of, you know,
Yeah.
attention that you've gotten. It sounds like yeah, it's been a lot for you.
Yeah.
Any
But
advice?
going back
No,
to
you
the
can.
positives, I have met some really freaking cool people. I mean, I wouldn't know you if it didn't happen. Wouldn't some of the Black Rifle guys, I know all the political crap. They're really cool dudes. Like, don't care if you're right or left, and they're very right, but still don't care either way. Like, I'm friends with everybody, but JT's one of my good buddies, and I've gotten to do some really cool things with him, like heli hog hunting, which I got a lot of shit for, or flying fighter jets this weekend, like riding in, not flying. um, so I've gotten to do really cool things like that I probably wouldn't have gotten to do otherwise. But other than that, I would say my life is pretty much, like I said, the same.
That I mean, that's definitely a perk though. That's, with all the negativity, that I've also experienced on X and the roller coaster that it's been, it has been really cool to connect with and get to collaborate and meet, a
Yeah.
lot of people. So
Yeah.
that's certainly and experiences, yeah, that enrich your life, like you
Yeah.
said.
And I'm big on experiences in general in life. Experiences are so much better than things.
I I'm with you 110%. I'm not a materialistic person. Yeah, I talk
I'm
about
not.
this.
I like nice things, but I'm not actually, I could also, house wise, I am maybe a little materialistic only because I do that for a living. But other than that, like, yeah, I'm really not a super materialistic person. I would
Yeah.
much rather spend my money on a vacation than like a pair of new shoes, unless
And
they're
it's
sneakers. Sneakers are
I
unless they're
mean, right. I enjoy nice things also, but I can tell too, just even, with your content and pictures, and you seem very friend and family oriented and
Mhm. Yeah,
travel and
yeah. I try not to post my family like a ton. And I always ask anyone, I'm like, hey, do you care if I post? Like, do you want me to tag you or not? Like, let me know. Cause, you know, people aren't nice and not everyone, but there are some people out there that, aren't super friendly and they didn't ask for that. And especially with like my nieces and nephews, I do post a little bit about them, but I try not to like give too much into their life because that's again their life and their children. So
yeah, they're children. And I mean, and it's fair. You want to keep certain things private
yeah,
about yourself, your family, and yeah, people are not entitled to that
yeah.
information about
And
you.
sometimes it's hard because I am so close with them and I am with them a lot. And some things are just too cute and funny not to post. Like my little niece, she's just like this big hick, and I don't even know where her little voice is just freaking funniest thing in the world. Uh, Posted a video of her recently, and she was like, I don't even remember. She's like, "You do it first," and I was like, "What the hell? Where did that come from?"
So speaking of that, I was going to ask you, you're born and raised in Texas, right?
Yeah.
How was that? What was that like? What were you like as a child?
Um, Pretty much the same, honestly.
Yeah.
I grew up in a really small town called Azle. It's grown a lot now since Fort Worth and Dallas has exploded. Went to school in Oklahoma at Oklahoma State, Texas Tech for a year, and then transferred to Oklahoma State. Moved back to Dallas for a while. Moved up to Seattle when I worked for Microsoft. Spent like a year in New York, and then didn't really have anywhere I wanted to go next. So the company I was with at the time moved me back to Dallas, and been here since. I think that was back in like 2016 or something. So I've been here for a minute now. So it's not that I'm like dead set on staying here. There's just not really anywhere else that like is yeah. I mean, I could easily move overseas. I could live in Europe very easily just because I love traveling and there's so much to do over there that I haven't experienced. But yeah, but other
Yeah.
than that, yeah, high school was I was did like cheerleading and basketball and softball for a little bit. Our basketball coach made us run track, so like I was very busy. Uh, did church camp every year, which I'm sure really surprises a lot of people with my potty mouth. I also worked in an industry like full of men, so it's like potty mouth was there. um, but yeah, pretty much the same though. It's very. I thought I was very like outgoing and friendly, but I guess other people would have to attest to that. I'm not sure.
Do you think your friends would describe you that way?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So that's what the
yeah.
people that really know you. Yeah.
They would also describe me as a little crazy, but not crazy in like mental crazy, as in like adventurous, always like probably gonna go backflip off of something, like doing like stupid stuff. Um, so yeah,
The good kind of crazy.
yeah, and I'm sure
Uh,
with the good kind of crazy comes a little bit of the crazy, which
I'm not a label person. I would never call you crazy based on one incident and one situation. Like we've all done things and whatever, going through different things in our life, whatever's happening at the time. And I'm big on it's what you do with it, where you go from there, how you, move on, how you handle that situation, I think says everything about you rather than what happened in that moment.
just fly. He's really you see him.
Oh, I do see. That's okay. My bow came undone in the middle of the interview, so I was like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Boobs out.
I know. I was like, "Whoa." Um,
I don't think people would be too disappointed.
my my beau was enjoying our conversation. It was like we just loosened up a little.
It's uptight right now.
What are some of your favorite things that I've been to Texas, but very, very briefly, like just in passing. What are some of your favorite things about it?
Well, I grew up on the lake, so like lake life was like really fun growing up. Um, it is really, really hot here. So I try to get out of Texas as much as I can in the summer. But growing up, like the people, I feel like were always super friendly and very welcoming. I mean, there's not a lot, I'm not gonna lie, to do in Texas in terms. There is a lot of eating and drinking because, like in Dallas, you can't really. There's no like hikes, and there's some, but I've always been pretty outdoorsy, so I've always done stuff outdoors. My family, they grew up hunting and stuff, so there's a lot of that in Texas. Um, but other than that, we do eat a whole lot in Dallas specifically. But that's why I think I travel so much, is to get different experiences and different viewpoints in life.
I think that's important to do too, to like get outside of your comfort zone and your box. And, a lot of people can get comfy, but you can really learn and grow. And, you know,
Sports are huge in Texas. That's probably why like I am such a sports fanatic. I'm pretty much into every type of sport, but football specifically is pretty big here. So um yeah, that's been a huge part of growing up, I guess, here and living here still to now.
well, that's awesome. I'm born and raised in Florida.
Ooh,
So
that's
now
so
I'm back and I'm living on a lake. So that's
Ooh,
new for me.
you're in Florida. I love Florida.
Orlando, the
Okay.
Orlando area.
That's where I was headed to when I was
I know, I know, I know. What were
okay.
you coming to Orlando for? Do you remember?
Yes. Yes. I was going to meet my family. They had gone out a couple days earlier, but I had this back injury. So they were doing like Universal Studios and all that before we went on a cruise. And it was a Disney cruise. So imagine all this happening and then being stuck on a Disney cruise, like trying to get off of all social media. I deleted every account, like trying to do all this with like hardly any like internet, like really spotty internet at that. That was very stressful.
I
Um,
can't imagine, yeah.
yeah, and then trying to like put on like a good face when you're with. I mean, of course, my mom knew everything that was going on, and my sister, but the rest of the family had no clue. Like my grandparents, it's so funny. My grandma still to this day does not know, and I don't know how. It's quite comical, actually. We were at McAllister's the other day. They were in Dallas randomly, and we went to lunch. And this guy was like, came running out. He's like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" My grandma was like, "Why would someone want a picture with you?" I'm like, "That's a very good question, Granny. I don't know. I don't know." And my grandpa's just in the background going, "Please don't say anything."
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, he just must think you're beautiful, which is very likely.
Oh, my
But
grandma's the cutest thing in the world, but it was so funny. It was so funny. But yeah, so I was going on a cruise, on a Disney cruise, but I was like 2 days late because I had this back injury and missed my first flight because I had this back injury, and so I wasn't even supposed to be on that stupid flight. People are like,
isn't
"Why is
life
she in the
weird like
back?"
that? Life is so weird like that. When one little event changes everything, like the time, it's crazy.
Obviously, God thought I needed that. I needed some sort of reality check and needed whatever. There's a reason for it all. I am one of those big, like, firm believers. There is a reason for everything. I did not like going through that, but there is a reason for it. Still haven't figured that out, but on that path to trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that's a really constructive way to look at challenging situations that we go through is you whether it's your personal growth, the opportunities, that come from it, just kind of framing it in some, seeing the positives that come out of it. I think it seems like you've become a really resilient person, and that must feel, and the therapy like you mentioned, kind
Yeah,
of maybe more self-love, like it feels
yeah,
like this
yeah. There's had to
there
be a lot of that. There was a lot there. That was not the case at the beginning, because you kind of rag on yourself, probably, like I said, more than anybody else could, and you really are hard on yourself. So it's like giving yourself a little bit of grace and truly, like, you know, diving into like everything and not being very open, I think helped too. Like I think it after everything happened, like just letting people know, like, no, actually this is who am. Like that is yes, that happened, but that's not who I am. So I still think most people are very confused about who I actually am.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can only do what you can do, and they only have a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
They don't, so they can't really know. I mean, you can put out there what you want to and what you feel like you want to, and yeah, ultimately, they're
Yeah.
not going to know the real you, but you know the real you,
Yeah.
and
That's all that really matters.
exactly. And the people that are close to you, your friends and family, the people that matter in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately, I think, right, that's what really matters. And again, it goes back to, you can't please everyone. People are always going to have opinions and judgments, and we can't make everyone happy. So we just got to do our best and
Just stop trying. Live
mhm.
life the way you're supposed to live it, and I think good comes to good people. And obviously, people have bad situations that happen in life, and not everyone. Sometimes it's very confusing what God's trying to do. But I have a very blessed life, and there's, yeah, not going to let anyone disturb it.
We've put a lot of, I think, a lot of nuggets of insight and have come out of this
Yeah, I
conversation.
wasn't expecting to talk about it all, but it was more about like the mental health aspect of it.
Yeah, which is my jam. I love talking anything. I also, similarly to you, I'm a big advocate. My background is in mental health, so that's why with Bold Talk, I'm more interested in hearing people's stories to learn more about who they are, the human, the humanity behind it. Not just getting into politics and not.
Politics are exhausting, man. That's why I have to get off of X every once in a while. I'm like, I can't read another thing, another headline about the same thing. Like, you know, it's just, and it is so volatile right now. And I do think there's a middle ground, and it's just not where our world is seeing eye to eye right now. It's really quite sad, honestly, because I am not like about the left or the right. Obviously, I think everyone knows I lean right. I'm also from Texas, um, a gun advocate and all the things, for the right reasons, obviously. Um, but yeah, I half my friends are. I mean, I lived in Seattle. Like half my friends are very far left, not far left. I would say we're all pretty middle of the road. But so for me, it's not about any sort of politics, race, anything. Like I'm a lover of all. I wish more of the world would be like that.
Yeah, me too. So that's also, speaking of using our platform to try to make positive changes, that's also what I'm trying to do as well. Because I think, we're all human, and trying to find that unity and common ground and just bringing people together more. I think things are, yeah, really, you know, heated and scary right now. And the more that we can just spread positive messages and messages of love and all of that, the better, and coming together. So,
And I truly do think we have like a mental health crisis like on our hands, like just an overwhelming amount of it. And I do think that's where a lot of this like stems from. It's not necessarily like left or right. It's just, I think a lot of that is a huge issue right now.
yeah, absolutely. So I think that the more that we can talk about it, raise awareness, and break the stigma, the better, right? So
Yeah.
I think we're both passionate about that.
Yeah. That is why I take breaks. And people are like, where have you been? Why haven't you posted? Because I have been living and
Yeah.
not obsessing over things that are out of my control.
And that's super important as well. And in terms of that self awareness that you spoke to earlier, and just checking in with yourself and knowing where you're at and what you need to take care of yourself. And those breaks are important, knowing, what things help you at whatever given time, just, paying attention to, am I feeling depressed, anxious, on edge,
Right.
aggravated? And what can I do about it? You
Yeah.
know,
Just really glad football season is back. So not all politics on my timeline. Really glad
yeah.
sports. Sports.
Yeah, no, so yeah, you got to have those things to like decompress, the things that bring you joy. You've mentioned a lot of them, the dogs, the
Yeah,
sports, football.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't want to forget to talk about this amazing, speaking of fun things, this incredible adventure that you just had
Oh
with the
yeah.
flying the fighter jets. Yeah.
Yeah. So my friend JT, he invited me to go fly fighter jets. It was like a random, I just got back from Puerto Rico, or maybe I was coming back from Puerto Rico that day. He's like, hey, next weekend, you want to go to Montana and fly fighter jets? And I was like, what? Like, is this a real question? Um, he's like, yeah. I was like, let me try to make it work. Like, I'm just going to be home. I have to be back early on Sunday. So flew in Friday, hung out with like everybody Friday night. Then Saturday, got up. My first flight was with this pilot named Stretch, or that's his call sign. And we flew an L-39. So he got me like kind of accustomed to like being in a fighter jet, and did like a cool little canyon run, did some little barrel rolls and some formations with other planes. So it was just a cool experience. And then the second flight, I went with this guy named Stinger. That's his call sign. And he flew an Alpha jet, which is like much quicker, much more power. And so then we did an insanely low canyon run that kind of like felt like the scene out of Top Gun Maverick, where you're like, it was the coolest thing. And then when we came out of it, we did a lot of, I don't even know what you call it, but we did like loops and quick barrel rolls and dives and climbs. And we got up to like 6.5 Gs, which I guess for not ever doing that, I feel like that's a lot. It's a lot of like pressure against you. Did not pass out and did not throw up. I'm very impressed with both of those. But it was by far to date the coolest thing I've ever done. Like,
Wow. Had you ever done anything like that before?
I mean, I've been in like prop planes and yeah, but no, nothing like that. That's like a once in a lifetime experience. Like, I don't think majority of people would get to do something like that. But the guy that like, it's like called the Polaris fleet. He's done a lot of things. He's owned a lot of companies and done things with like the government contracts, I think. And he's a very unique person. Very, very, very intelligent. But yeah, so I don't know how JT knows them, but anyways, I just got the extended invite and it was by far the coolest thing I've ever done.
Were you scared at all, or was it just because you're very seemingly adventurous?
Yeah,
So
I am kind of a psychopath on stuff like that. So no, like I've jumped out of many planes and I've done
oh,
a
wow.
lot of stupid stuff. But no, I'm like a thrill seeker. I think that probably means I have something wrong a little bit when I'm like, oh, can it kill me? Let's do it. That sounds fun. So yeah, I shockingly wasn't. The only thing that I got a little nervous about is when we were briefing for the Alpha Jet, like when he was like talking about like the G's and like how to like breathe through it and not pass out. I was like, oh shit. So I could quite possibly pass out.
That's something that could happen? Okay.
Yeah. He's like, you'll come back quick. It's fine. So I was like, oh, if that's the worst that can happen, then we're fine. And this other plane this F5 was supposed to go up with us, but it had like a malfunction. So it didn't get to, we were going to get to do like a dogfight simulation and was really bummed that we didn't get to do that. Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
Hopefully there will be a next time.
God, I hope so. I truly do. It was the coolest thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of a nice way to wrap up your birthday too, I guess.
That was by far the best birthday present. Yeah. Wouldn't even
Pretty
mention
memorable.
it, but it was the best birthday present. And he has this whole Star Wars bar. I really need to post a video of it. This thing is I have to send it to you. It's the most insane bar. It's above the hangar. And so it's where everybody hangs out. Like, and it's like out of something like Disney World, like would have created. Like it is so insane.
Please. Yeah, I want to see.
It is the coolest. I'll send it to you.
Please. Oh my gosh.
I got all my GoPro footage back from the plane, but it's like the camera's just on you. So you can't really tell like the terrain you're going through. And it's such a bummer because it's like you need one front facing also, because otherwise you're just sitting there. It doesn't really look like you're doing much except for when you're like when you're going straight up. But yeah.
Yeah, you need the other.
You're upside down so you can see in the canopy like the ground below you. So that's cool, but you still can't really tell what's going on. But yeah, I'll post some of those soon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sure everyone would love to see that. That's because no one that I know has done anything like that before. So that's so cool.
It was really cool.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. So what's up next for you? What are you kind of focused on right now, work wise or goal wise? What's going
Focused
on?
on chilling out for a little bit because I have traveled pretty much all summer. My dogs are my dogs need some loving. They're sick of being at grandma's house. So yeah, just kind of getting back to normal life, getting back in the gym. That's pretty important right now. Getting back to a little bit of a routine. And I just sold a house and have one more coming on the market in November of new builds. I think a lot of people think I'm a realtor. I'm not a realtor. I just am an investor. So I just do real estate investment. So basically buy lots, scrape the house, and do new builds, which is big in Dallas right now. So, anyways, yeah, just looking for some more land. So, if any realtors out there got some, it's primarily only in Texas that I do work. But yeah, just kind of getting back to everyday life for a little bit and then ramp back up in 2026 with the travels. I have one more trip in October. Actually, two more trips this year, but they're small trips.
But that's good
Yeah.
though. I think balance is so important in life, and treating yourself, having things to look forward to. Obviously traveling is something that's important to you, and
It's
having the
my biggest by
experiences.
far. Biggest. It makes me happy when I travel and it helps me it keeps me in a good headspace. And it's not just like traveling, like I like experiencing different cultures. I don't want to just like only travel in the US. Like I love going to different countries and experiencing, living like other people do and seeing kind of what their world looks like. Um, I think that's
Yeah.
one of the coolest things. And I'm very blessed that I'm able to do that because most of the time, everyone's like, you don't even work. I'm like, no, I do. I just bring my laptop with me. Like I can do what I do anywhere in the world. So it makes it really easy. And obviously I don't have children. So again, makes it very easy. um,
Yeah. Yeah,
obviously
but right.
life would be very different if if life played out differently for me. But that's where we are right now.
Right. And it's great. It's like
Yeah.
you have to do you, and yeah, it's inspiring. It's beautiful. You're happy. You're doing what you love. I feel kids are not for everyone. I don't have kids either, and I think that's okay. And
And it wasn't that I was like opposed to it. It's just I wasn't going to sacrifice my whole life to like be with someone maybe that wasn't right long term that I'd maybe get divorced from and then raise a split family because I was raised in a split family and it's not always the easiest and not knocking it. It's just that's not what I wanted for if I had a child to bring into this life. You can't always control that. But so I think I've been very, very selective of what that looks like. And, I would have been a great mom. I guess I still could, but getting a little late in life for that.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
Definitely could happen,
Yeah.
but it's yeah, I think it's important to live your truth, and the alternative is what you do it because people are telling you should do it, and then you're not happy, and it's just there's a lot
Yeah.
of
And I
so
want a partner for the right reasons, like I want a partner to enjoy life and experience life with. I don't want a partner that I'm annoyed with every day or, we fight because it's not the right fit. Like I want someone
mhm.
to have fun with. Like I enjoy my life so much. I want it to be like an add-on. I want it, you know, it's a, you know, it's a want, not a need. And I know people hate that. Like, and I'm very actually like stereotypical when it comes to women and men roles. Like women can do anything, I get it, but we are made differently for a reason. I do think men complement women and women complement men for a reason. And so yeah, like I do live in like some of the like traditional roles. Like, yeah, bitch, you take out the trash and I'll clean the house. Like I'm good with that. And that's just kind of how I was raised and I am all on board for that. But I also can do it by myself if I have to. That's not preferable. We haven't gotten there yet.
Well, once again, so important to know yourself and what, makes you authentically happy, and it's your life at the end of the day. So all these judgments and things, you can't live for other people. So you keep doing you. I think that's, an incredible message to model and send to others, because there is a lot of outside pressures and all
Yeah,
of that. So
absolutely. But
so
yeah,
reinforcing these, mottos to really live by, to be happy, right? Like,
Then I think it's important, like, I have a niece, like, yeah, like, go to school, get a job, have a career, and not everyone has to have a career, and that's your path to choose, and that's totally fine. But I think I was so focused on my younger years of in having a career that was so important to me that I probably put a little bit too much focus on it. So I do think there's a balance, but I do think, if I ever did get married and heaven forbid, something bad happened and I wasn't able to provide for myself, like I, that's never a position that I wanted to be in. And, with everything my mom experienced in life, I think that's just kind of what she like honed in on is like, you can also like be your own person and do your own thing. And so I think all of it's obtainable and it is about what you want. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a stay-at-home mom either. It's whatever you want, just really
yeah,
whatever you want in life. But for me, career was super important.
yeah. Well,
But
thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
On a light, fun note, I think I recently saw that you were posting about watching Hunting Wives, and
Oh my god.
I just finished it recently as well. So,
Wild. And then that's what like, people in Texas are like that. I'm like, I have never met anyone like that in my life in
oh, so
Texas.
that's not your friend group? They're not.
You probably think it is. Yeah. No, that's not it. Don't know anyone like that. And I feel like their accents were so bad. I'm like, that's not.
You would know, so I take your word for
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
I
you
used
don't
to have
sound
a
like
really
that.
no, I used to have a really bad one, but when I worked for Microsoft, I remember the first meeting I went into, they were like, "Who?" It was like a over a phone call. They're like, "Who is this 817 number?" And I was like, "That's me." And so after that, I like had to train myself not to talk like that. But if I have a few too many drinks, it comes right back out.
Yeah, I feel like drinking brings out accents for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Yeah, it comes right back. Or if I'm with my family, it comes out.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone gets together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hard
I
not
could
to.
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, where can people find you, support you, anything you wanna promote? Go for it.
Oh, no, see, I should have had something. No. Um,
We can post it after the fact too if you want, if you think of
yeah,
something.
no, I mean, obviously I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Those are the main things. I have a TikTok, but I never post on it. Um, I don't even know how to use it. There's people doing all these trends and we tried to make one actually when we were in Puerto Rico and I was like, I give up. This is too hard.
What
Um,
was it, like a dance one or
oh God, no, I don't do those. No, no. It was one with like music in the background. It was like a transition and I get really awkward on stuff like that. I don't like reels at all. So, I really don't like the camera on me. I get very awkward. So, but no, I am on Instagram and X just with my full name. And it's not Gomez, it's Gomas, which I think a lot of people
people
get
get
wrong.
mixed up? Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna ask you if there's anything that we didn't cover, or didn't get to say that you want people to know about you or that you would like to say. I mean, I feel like you've said a lot, but is there anything else that you want people to know?
I'm not on OnlyFans. Let's
Copy.
make that clear. And the passive platform is nothing like OnlyFans. There's no nudity even allowed on it. So before people keep coming at me, it's not that. But no, like I'm a pretty open book in life, and like I think just over time, like it all, and no one will ever know, like truly, the behind the scenes because that's just not. I'm more of a private person, but no, I'm really not really.
Well, you seem, from what I can tell, very authentic, very real. You were very open. I appreciate that. I feel like I got a much better sense, and that's the hope is that people will get a better sense of who you are, and not about a viral one incident of your life, one day in your life. So that's the goal, and I appreciated learning more about your story, and really just see such. I love the humor and the resilience, and for anyone who does want to follow you, subscribe on Passes or anywhere else, I feel like they'll have a lot of fun. I think you're really relatable and we need more of that. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of positive, fun content and I
people will
appreciate
find out that I talk a lot.
that.
Through this podcast. I don't really have like an off button. Um, but yeah.
but that's part of the unfiltered, candid, part that's so beautiful about these conversations.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah.
Tiffany, thank you so, so much for being here and taking part in this incredibly bold talk.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Bold Talk.